Act like a fool. Fog Entertainment back again here with another movie review. We are looking at Too Fast, Too Furious. Came out 20 years ago, and this was when the Fast movies were good. It was a whopping £76 million, well, dollars, sorry, budget, and it made $236.4 million. And we're following Brian O'Connor. There is no Dominic Toretto in this movie, but Brian O'Connor, he's making his living in Miami, and we get a street race here. Just great vibes. We're introduced to Ludacris. We're introduced to Amari Nolasco's character, of course, you know, the epic guy from Prison Break. Damn it, he's known as Orange Julius. And this bad boy, you've got Devin Aoki here. She's a friend of Brian. And Tej is, she's the only named female racer in the movie, and her car is a custom Honda S2000. You know, it's a pretty sexy motor. I'm going to say myself, but of course Brian wins this race. He was never going to win it, but not to lose it, I mean. But for some reason, she finishes second, and she's like pure marking out, and they're all celebrating for her. There's no... See, in these races, like, when you, like, it's a pink slip. There's money on the line here. It did not matter a rat's ass that she finished second, but yet these guys were letting you to believe that that was a big deal. But then we're trying to escape here. Brian gets caught by the police, and then he's basically given a mission. Bring down this drug lord, and you're going to be in a tag team here with Roman Pierce. We're introduced to Roman Pierce, and it's funny. He's under house arrest. He can't go more than 100 yards from his house. Turns out he lives in a caravan. That's how he's doing the demolition derby. But, you know, he kind of blames Roman here for serving jail time. And we're introduced here to Agent Monica Fuentes, played by the sexy Eva Mendes. But no, it gets me, right? It's weird. It almost seems like Roman in this movie is a completely different character. Now, maybe you could say that he's a bit bitter towards Brian because of the fact he's a cop, and that's why, like, in Fast 5 and then just beyond that, he's not the same character as here. But here he just seems like a bit more serious and ruthless, and he's still the funny character deep down inside, but he just seems a bit more ruthless. I don't know. I feel like in the later movies, Roman just becomes a bit of a piss take. Even though he's still funny, he just doesn't seem to be very serious. But they're given a mission from Ferron here to get the car. There's a car inside a lot like 20 miles away here in Miami. They managed to win here, but Roman starts shooting at the police, which obviously pisses off the police a hell of a lot. But they managed to win here and gain Ferron's trust. And at this point, though, they're taken to like his private bar, where we're introduced to Big Bobby Elvis, damn it. Bobby Elvis is in this movie. Mark Bowen Jr. is playing Detective Whitworth, and they see how Ferron's tactics here, where he's trying to torture him with a rat, and then eventually the detective gives up and says that he will make all the heat go away and give Ferron safe passage, essentially, in all his crimes. But eventually we do get to the day of the mission, and it's just like, it's simple missions. This is within the realms of possibility. See the later Fast and Furious movies, man. It just gets so ridiculous. It really is. It really is. So on the day of the mission, they have to move all the money along with Ferron's men. So you've got Brian and Roman tag team with Enrique and Roberto. Of course, Ferron's suspicious of Eva Mendes' character here cheating on him. But at the end of the day, act like a fool. It's alright. So here, we've got the dream team. But the detective, who was told not to put this window in, he's like, fuck it, Ferron's not going to put a rat on my stomach one more time, so he decides to call the police in, and then we get like a high-speed chase across the city. They manage to get to a warehouse, and then we're like, we've got you surrounded. And then, like, hundreds of street racers come out of the warehouse here, and it turns out the wanted cars are being driven here by Tej and Suki, because the criminals, Brian, Roman, and the two jabronis have escaped here in the other cars. Roman gets rid of Roberto using an ejector seat in his Dodge Challenger. But the other car that Brian's in, he can't do it. He arrives at Ferron's location, but Ferron is on to him. Ferron is going to kill Brian. And he says that he knew Monica was undercover, and that's why Brian got shafted with the wrong destination point. God damn it. Used his leverage. So when Brian arrives, things aren't looking good. But then Roman appears, saves him. And then as Ferron has captured Eva Mendes' character here, they're on the boat. Brian and Roman hit a ramp in the car, bang, good night, lovely jubbly. And yeah, they shoot Farone, and then Farone goes to jail. And we never, I don't believe we ever see Farone again. I think it would just be weird to bring this Farone character back though, considering like Paul Walker's dead. And it just, well, I mean, I don't know what happened in Fast 10. Did they bring Paul Walker back? Kind of seems like they did, but I'd probably wouldn't even ever watch it if I'm being honest. But yeah, this was good thing. And then Brian and Roman's criminal record has been cleared, and we're kind of thinking here, what's going on here? Brian says he might open the garage, and then turns out Roman took some of Farone's cash and he stuffed it in his pants. It ends on like a really high note for these two guys. But you know what? It's a really fun and entertaining movie, guys. It just shows you that by the later movies, it lost the soul that it once had. But oh, what about the family? Fuck the family, man. We don't need the family. We just need streetcar racing. And yeah, probably it's definitely one of my favourite movies of the franchise, absolutely. But guys, till next time, leave your thoughts down below. I'm going to give this movie a solid 8 out of 10.